I don't think I could ever have another job because I think I would die if I sat in an office. I'm quite interested in the part of history that hasn't made it to the museum and is labeled as fine art. I try to look at traditions linked to female making that often has been left in the domestic space and is maybe rather labeled as knick-knack than art. So I've worked a lot with embroidery recently. So I looked at old tablecloths that my grandmother had, and I've remade those patterns and put them on my pieces. So I try to see what happens when you combine different techniques and if you can maybe recontextualize them and maybe make them more interesting for a contemporary audience. Yeah, it is very scary to approach a career within the artistic field because it's very few jobs that you can educate or study for. I've studied ceramics for 7 years. So yeah, it's crazy that you can actually go on an education for so long and then you don't get any salary from working with it. Because every month is okay, will I sell something? So I've always had part-time jobs in galleries and as a ceramic teacher. So yeah, it is a very difficult road to take. And I think it feels like a lot of people probably think that being an artist maybe is the easy way out, but it's very difficult and you have to be prepared to be really poor for quite a long time. Well, I've had several part-time jobs and it is great being a ceramicist. I would never ever pick another job. I have to do this. It's the best job in the world, and if it wasn't the best world in the job, I wouldn't do it without knowing that I wouldn't get a salary. But I've been very, very lucky with part-time jobs, I must say. When I studied at Konstfack, I got a job at an art gallery, which I worked at until it had to close down. But I got so much experience and so much network because it was a craft gallery, so I got to know so many people there. And then I've continued as a ceramic teacher, which I just got by pure luck. And that led on to me getting employed by the Porcelain Museum also. So I work as an art educator there. I think the best way to network is to go to Konstfack actually. I did my bachelor's in Oslo, but I knew I wanted to be working in Stockholm, so I decided to apply for the master's in Konstfack. The network is so important. And yeah, I got to know so many people there, and I got my studio because of a girl who had gone to Konstfack, so yeah, I've been super lucky. Well, I still don't know what I want to do. There are so many paths to take and there's no right and wrong. I've had a lot of exhibitions now and been working a lot towards that. But it's a very difficult way to earn money. You never earn money on an exhibition, it's more a cost. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this career economically sustainable. I can be disappointed when I've had an exhibition and I haven't sold anything and I was oh, this was a waste of time. But then all of a sudden you get an email from someone who have been to your exhibition and they ask if you want to be a part of this project. So it feels like having an exhibition is planting seeds, basically. There are some skills. I think since I did my bachelor and my master at 2 different schools, maybe my education is a bit incomplete in some ways, because in my bachelor's we didn't have any entrepreneurship, company, any education in that. And I know they have that in the BA at Konstfack, but not in the MA. So I didn't get any kind of how to have a company. So yeah, I didn't know anything about VAT or bookkeeping. So I felt really lost and confused when I started my company, because if you're an artist, you're gonna have to have your own company basically. So I'm a sole trader, and it feels like I learn something new every day. And it would have been maybe a bit better to know some things when you start a company. My best tip if you want to run a company and want to make sure that you're doing everything right is to get an accountant. It's so good to have. I had heard about SSES before. I think the first week of Konstfack we had an introduction by SSES. When you are in the master's program at Konstfack, you apply with a project and everyone is so into their project that it's quite easy to forget everything else around it, because I think when you are having an artistic project, it's you yourself is such a big part of it that you become really into it. I think it's probably more personal than other programs. But yeah, my boyfriend has been a part of SSES, so he's told me some things about it. I think maybe it's a bit hard to have additional classes outside your program, because when I went to Konstfack I was so busy in school, and I had my part-time job I went to every week, and yeah, everything went so fast. And I also went there during COVID, so a lot of other things were cancelled. I would probably be interested in taking courses now. I've tried to go on similar courses. Konstnärernas riksorganisation has courses in bookkeeping and stuff, so I've attended those to learn more. But yes, I would probably need a proper course in how to be an entrepreneur. It's also so important to surround yourself with older people within the field that has all this experience, because I try to remember that other artists, they are not my competitors, they are my colleagues. And here we always have lunch together, and people always share their experience, and you get so much help and ideas from more experienced people. If you are graduating soon and you feel a bit lost, I think you should be prepared to feel lost a bit longer. I still feel lost, and I think everyone feels lost for a long time. But I think it's important to hold on to your friends within the field, because when you are in a group you're so much stronger and you can help each other and use each other. So important to always show your work everywhere and show that you exist. I used Instagram quite a lot for that, and try and post and gain followers. And yeah, it's so important with good pictures, because when you are an artist you have to be your own photographer, your own social media manager. I have a homepage. I don't know if anyone ever visits it. But yeah, I just try to put my work everywhere and say yes to a lot of things. I rent out my work to different companies and magazines and stuff. So yeah, just try to find every way to put your work out there. Exhibitions is really good for that. Often one thing leads to another. So if I've had an exhibition, maybe some company has seen it and wants my work for their next campaign. So it always feels one thing leads to another. So you just have to keep working, and then yeah, something happens there, and then something happens there, and then it's completely dead for a while, and then 10 people want to the same week, and then no one calls you for 6 months. So you just have to keep on working. I don't think I could ever have another job, because I think I would die if I sat in an office. It's my worst nightmare to sit in front of a screen between 9 and 7. I mean, now I can just, yeah, I have full control over my schedule. And I think the best thing is that I work with my hands. When I have a piece of clay and I squeeze it, something physical actually happens. Everything in society is like on a screen and everything is so abstract, but doing ceramics is like so concrete. It's like, yeah, you can feel what you're doing. I think it's always good to have like a diversity of contacts, so like not everyone does the same thing, because yeah, my boyfriend is an interior architect, so he can like help me with computer things and I can help him when he has to do something in clay. So yeah, I have friends who are glass blowers who has helped me with things in the past. And yeah, so it's good to have friends with different skills because you can always help each other. And I think when everyone is freelancing and struggling, it's so good to have each other and like use each other as colleagues to have someone to like lean back on. I would say that I'm probably involuntarily entrepreneur, and I think it would be great to like get to know someone who like actually has that as the profession to like help people, because it's quite easy to get like isolated within your field. So like, because I can think that being a ceramicist is like a very common job, because everyone I know is a ceramicist, and it can be quite hard to leave that world, and I wish that maybe there were more bridges. When I heard of the Stockholm School of Entrepreneurship, I was like, okay, this is more for people who goes like to Stockholm Business School or something. It's not really for us. I don't even know anyone who even spoke about Stockholm School of Entrepreneurship at Konstfack, because it felt like, yeah, maybe it's another world almost. When I hear the word entrepreneurship, I often think of like someone in a suit in an office. And I think I forget all the time that I am an entrepreneur, but I guess I am. I'm a member of both Konstfack and Konstnärernas riksorganisation, which is like not unions, but like maybe the closest you have to a union if you are an artist. And they usually arrange like bookkeeping nights, or I was on this big talk about public art. So they often have like different lectures and stuff where they support you in like how to work.